From St. Thomas Academy in Mendota Heights, we present high school boys basketball. Tonight, the St. Thomas Academy Cadets complete their non-conference portion of the season as they host the Minnetonka Skippers. St. Thomas Academy at 12-8, Minnetonka at 9-9. Hi everyone, Mike Peden and LaToya Turk with you. We're wearing the same clothes. If you're wondering why that is, we had a game a few hours ago. LaToya, I'm not sure if we'll have a one-point thriller like we did earlier this afternoon, but there's one thing you cannot dispute, and that is St. Thomas Academy and their rigorous schedule.
Absolutely. They've played some pretty top-notch teams here this season, and they're not getting beat by much. They just can't finish it off to get those wins, but they've been very competitive this season.
And at the very least, it will prepare them for section play. The nice thing about playing schools like Hopkins, Apple Valley, Cretin-Durham Hall, you don't have to face them in the section or class because the cadets are in 3A, but there's plenty of tough competition in that class, as they know, with De La Salle, Columbia Heights among them. For the cadets, Sam Vascellaro, Jack Thompson are going to be some of the players to watch. Vascellaro is having himself quite a senior season. Some call him perhaps the most underrated figure in the 2018 class.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does for his team tonight. His sister's doing some big things over at her school as well, so it'll be interesting to see how he carries his team against this very competitive team that he's playing tonight.
And Minnetonka, the one team not in the top 20 from the Lake Conference. They've lost 6 of the last 7, so they've run into a bit of a struggle. That being said, with boys basketball, there's always a chance for an upset or a surprise. And with folks like Jalen Deering, Minnetonka certainly in this one tonight.
And Deering comes from good stock. His dad, Darren Deering, and his aunt, Tamika Deering, from De La Salle. So he has some strong basketball roots there. And this is the time when we get to see those upsets and those rankings and seedings move all around. So 'tis the season.
And Minnetonka, a win here could give them some leverage in Section 2 4A, where Eden Prairie is tops among that group. So a lot at stake tonight, and we'll do our best to bring you all the action. You're watching high school boys basketball. Well, at least the Star Spangled Banner got through without a hitch.
The full version.
So here's a look at the starters for the two teams. For the Minnetonka Skippers, it's number 2, Jalen Deering, the junior. Andy Stafford, number 13, the junior. John Martins, number 23, the senior. Cameron Steele, number 24, the sophomore. And Peter Haas, number 33, the senior. St. Thomas Academy starting Graham O'Malley, number 1, the senior. Jack Thompson, number 3, the junior. George Stewart, number 5, the senior. Dennis Kelly, number 10, the senior. And Sam Vascellaro, number 15. He's the senior. And the Vascellaro name, known for news, and if you go to the prep sports realm, Vascellaro name is synonymous with talent, as we've seen with Sam this year and his outstanding senior season. Frankie came up big last night without Destiny Oberg in a Holy Angels win over De La Salle. Frankie put up 21.
It's nice to have a good workout partner. You got 2 great athletes in the household.
Well, and remember, their parents are no strangers to athletics. Frank, who is Sam's father, you may know him as a broadcaster for WCCO these days. Back in his high school days, he was a 2-time state tournament champion in football.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And we could be here for history tonight. As I didn't quite get the exact number, but Sam Vascellaro closing in on 1,000.
I think he said 15, which would be the number of his jersey.
Well, last week I was on hand to see history with Mary Burke getting 2,000 points. We didn't see Jacqueline Jarnett get to 2,000 today for Maranatha. That'll have to come on Monday. But even if this may not be the top-rated game of the night or this week, it's always nice to witness some history in the making.
Yes.
In case you're wondering, LaToya's been giving me a hard time about the De La Salle Cretan series going on and how badly I want to be there. But
how badly we. But we're going to enjoy the game that we're at right now.
So many games, only 2 of us.
Yes.
Now, if we just cloned ourselves, that would solve everything.
There would just be too much greatness out there then.
Oh, yeah. No, if they ever cloned me, they would stop the program. They would outlaw it. Minnetonka wearing the gray, St. Thomas Academy wearing the blue. STA, as we noted, semifinalists in the 3A state championship last year, and they have a good chance of getting back to the 3A bracket this year. And De La Salle, as usual, tops in the class. You also have Columbia Heights. They've been a strong team this year. Austin having a great year. They got, at this gym a week ago, a buzzer-beater win over Minnetonka Academy, the number 2 team in 2A.
Nice. The cadets are playing really solid defense here.
Minnetonka unable to penetrate inside. Here comes Deering. He's going to go for it. No good. Rebound, no putback. Cameron Steele left that one too strong. Graham O'Malley wasting no time. And that will be a turnover on the cadets. St. Thomas Academy, this is the first time I've been in their basketball facility, and I really think they need more lights. What about you?
Just a few more.
I don't think it's lit enough.
Beautiful gym.
Indeed. Graham O'Malley, he'll shoot 2. And the foul will go against Jalen Deering. Graham O'Malley, a 53% field goal shooter. And he can knock him down from 3-point range, 52%.
Oh, that's nice.
Averaging just 8.7 a game. And if you're wondering, yes, his first name is spelled like the unit of measurement.
Mr. Graham.
And no, I don't know any Graham jokes.
Neither
and even if I did, I will let Graham's athleticism do the talking. So Graham O'Malley gets us on the board. And Minnetonka throws it away. Vascellaro picks it up, tried the dish to Thompson, and Minnetonka got the deflection out of bounds. And I can see why Minnehaha, though, had this side as one of their temporary facilities.
It's a really nice facility.
And I spoke with, well, I didn't speak, but Josh Thurow, the AD and girls head coach, noted that one advantage of a school like STA, because it's an all-boys school, their basketball court has a few more open dates.
Nice move to the basket there.
George Stewart couldn't put it in. 3 on the way. That's going to be short. Cameron Steele on the attempt. Rebound, Jack Thompson. Sam Vascellaro. Nice hook by George Stewart.
Looks like George Stewart's going to be a factor tonight in the middle on the boards. He's gotten a few rebounds here.
George Stewart averages 14 a game, so he's going to be a factor, period.
Right.
And Sam Vascellaro not afraid to dish it out, averaging 3.2 assists a game. And Minnetonka having some trouble with ball control. St. Thomas Academy's perimeter defense holding true so far. Now, if you're wondering, the campus as a whole, St. Thomas and Visitation, share the same space. Visitation is the all-girls school. St. Thomas Academy is the all-boys school. Vascellaro drives and scores. And the two schools do collaborate quite a bit, even though they are gender separate. And when the pep band comes out, they are affectionately known as the Vista Band.
Oh.
Number 31, Gavin Patton misses the three-pointer for the Skippers. St. Thomas Academy all over the place. Vascellaro blocked, goes back up and scores.
Way to stay with it underneath the basket, staying focused, missing that first shot. And going
That's what Maranatha needed more of earlier this afternoon.
Right. Well, they'll be filmed now.
Right. Minnetonka, a thrilling one-point win over Maranatha. Big win for the Vikings, and I guess you wouldn't expect anything else from a pair of top 10 girls teams.
Right.
Minnetonka number 8 in Class A, Maranatha number 3 in 2A, but we expect both to be in the state tournament round. And Minnetonka finally gets on the board. Nikhil Norton. So Minnetonka going to their bench early to try to stop this STA run early. Cadets cannot respond. Thompson missing the three-pointer. Skippers can't save it. Vascellaro goes up, no good. And the rebound by Patton.
Vascellaro has some hops out there.
Well, he's 6'4". He's got some vertical. He's got some length. I think he gets it from his dad. Norton for three. Off the heel. Rebound number 2, Tony Wright. Thompson fakes the three, pulls up. That rims out. Rebound. Ben Homeister, 32. I'm surprised at how quickly Minnetonka's gone to their bench. You don't see that too often.
Wow.
In fact, they swapped out the entire starting 5.
As a coach, that means something. That definitely means you are sending a message when you swap out your entire starting lineup.
And the bench sending a message here. They've scored 5 in a row. Vascellaro, pump fake, and draws the blocking foul. Oh my. That will go against Gavin Patton. I'll refer to what we heard earlier today. Call what you see, not what you hear.
Yes.
There's no restricted zone at the high school level, and Vascellaro gets the call, goes to the line for 2. Sam Vascellaro, 72% free throw shooter. On the floor, 53%, averaging 15.2 a game and 5.6 rebounds. The Cadets,
these are pretty
quite
impressive
balanced.
numbers.
Well, the Cadets have a lot of balance. Dennis Kelly and George Stewart complement Vascellaro on the boards, and in scoring, you got Thompson and Stewart. So the Cadets, they play like a state tournament team.
That's a good combination to have a few good rebounders on your team.
You know, especially the bigger classes, 3A, 4A. Depth is so critical. 3 ball. Norton missing it from the corner. Vascellaro with the board. Vascellaro, will he take it all the way? Nope, jump ball, but the Cadets have the arrow.
Does he play football at all? Does Vascellaro play football?
I believe so. Don't quote me on it. If his parents were here, I could find out about that. They are here. I will. You know what? I will ask them. I'm a journalist, or at least I try to be.
He does that cuff the ball thing that I've seen the Suggs kid from Minnetonka do, and he's a football player as well.
Foul on the Skippers. That will send Andrew Johnson to the line. Andrew Johnson doesn't score too much, just 2.5 a game. He's a 6'3" senior forward. And you look at this STA roster, a lot of senior leaders on this team. O'Malley, George Stewart, Sam Vascellaro. So this is going to be a team that will lose a significant part of their scoring once the season's over. But high school, graduation, the great equalizer.
Yep.
Unless you're Hopkins. And ITs, even Hopkins has to deal with that as well.
Yes.
Tolliver, the skip. 3 on the way from Homeister. That's off the mark. Rebound is tipped into the hands of Andrew Sumner. The Skippers have already put 11 players on the floor. 3 ball. In and out. Cameron Steele couldn't hit from the corner.
And Vascellaro's cleaning up on the boards.
Hands it off to Thompson. Thompson, stutter step. Almost had it. Rebound, A.J. Tolliver. Tolliver through the lane, goes up and in.
That looks like a move Demaya Hill would do.
The Skippers getting all their points from the bench. Vascellaro with the dime, Andrew Johnson with the bucket. And Minnetonka's bench, I don't know if it's by design or if Freebrick was trying to send a message to his starters, but they are stepping up in a big way. Although they've had a couple shots go in and out. That was Steele who missed the elbow J. Cadets looking to run. Tony Wright didn't see a lane. Vascellaro missed the three-pointer. Rebound, Cameron Steele. Oh, that's Tolliver, I should say. And he is fouled by number 4, Noah Chamberlain.
I like that energy that he brings.
Tolliver?
Yes.
Wonder if he got that from Christy Tolliver. That's the only Tolliver I can think of. A.J. Tolliver doesn't score a whole lot. Averaging just 1.1 based on available data. But, again, the Skippers, no scoring from their starters yet, but 7 bench points. Well, that helps keep you around.
Right.
Another board for Vascellaro. Did Sam, you wonder beforehand, did he just say, I'm going to get a double-double by the first half? He's showing his leadership, though. Vascellaro, top of the key. That's short. Cadets lead 13-7, 10.5 to play. And that will stay with Minnetonka. Skippers, as we noted, lost 6 of the last 7. Their only win over the last several games came against Waconia, a traveling violation on A.J. Tolliver. They've had some close ones. St. Michael, Albertville, Wayzata, that was another tight one. And Wayzata, they're likely going to have a showdown with Hopkins in Section 6. Minnetonka in Section 2, as we noted. Eden Prairie will be the most likely contender. The Eagles ran over them 83-57 earlier this year.
And that last traveling call was on Andy Stanford.
Cadets struggling from the floor after a hot start.
Let's see if they go back to that set again.
But can the Skippers make something with it? Tolliver out to Stafford.
Nice patience on that play that they just ran. Maybe that's why they're in there.
Andrew Steele got the post-up move. Cameron Steele, I should say, got the post-up move on Sam Vascellaro. And the senior says, right back at you.
High off the glass there. Take it right to him.
I'm surprised Vascellaro hasn't gotten more looks.
Especially at 6'4".
He's 6'4", and a technical has been called on the Skippers.
He
He moves very well. Vascellaro moves very well with the ball. He can rebound. He brings the ball up the floor. It's good ball handling skills. He's rebounding well.
What really impressed me with Vascellaro in the few minutes I've seen him is how natural he looks on the floor.
You're right.
He's not over-aggressive. He doesn't do anything reckless. He just does all the little things. So Vascellaro makes the technicals. He'll get 1 on the foul shot, and the Cadets will keep the ball.
And the ref and the coach are still exchanging words over there.
Well, as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Vascellaro up to 10. He'll take a breather for now, but well on his way to crossing 1,000. And I see his parents. I'm trying to see if his sister's out there.
This coach is so close to picking up his second technical.
That's the last thing you want if you're the Skippers. Three off the mark, rebound, number 13, Andy Stafford. Tolliver kicks out, steal for 3. No good. Rebound, John Martins. Wow.
Is that pump fake?
As Scott Van Pelt used to say, the pump fake works only every single time. In that case, it baited STA into a foul. Just the first personal on Jack Thompson.
So
Deering for 3, bullseye. As you noted, Deering, part of an athletic lineage.
The only difference is his dad's about a foot taller than him at this age he was.
Thompson in trouble. Johnson comes up with it and floats it in.
Figured that one out.
I don't think he was ready for that pass, but he made it happen.
That's what great teams do. They improvise, turn a potentially broken play into a pair.
Not a lot of movement here from the Minnetonka team right now. See them swing the ball and swing the defense, make the defense move.
ST in that zone, making the Skippers work for it. to 12. Cameron Steele knocks down another 3. For the Skippers, that is. The second three-pointer, and the Skippers cut the margin down to 5. 19-14. O'Malley breaks free, bounces to Johnson, and he can't float it in. Another 3. Homeister couldn't put it down. Offensive rebound goes to Cameron Steele. Deering will try. Off the heel. Rebound, Dennis Kelly. Cadets looking to go outlet. And Tonka won't get the turnover, but they do get the deflection and will force a side out here.
All right, slow the game down a little bit.
And Sam Vascellaro going back in. 19-14, Sam Vascellaro closing in on 1,000, and something tells me he won't be the only Vascellaro to eclipse 1,000 on the hardwood. One of my friends told me, hang on, a steal by the Skippers. It goes to Stafford.
Swing it, and there's
Deering.
your shooter.
Steele calling for it. Pump fakes. Floats
Means
it in.
he's filling it.
And I mean float. But as I was alluding to earlier, a friend of mine, Leah B. Olson, who knows a thing or two about this, told me the longer you cover sports, especially at the prep level, the more you're going to cover offspring of your friends or your
Yes.
colleagues, if you will.
Yes.
George Stewart, the skip, but that's going to be an offensive foul.
It's a great feeling as a defensive player to take a charge. Might hurt
Didn't
a
you say that
little.
before?
Yes, it might hurt a little, but man, that's a good feeling. And there's an art
Was that
to
your
taking a
specialty
charge.
at Washburn and at Kent State?
No, it wasn't.
you-
I hate to bring it up again, but it's a specialty of
Were
Demaya's.
you afraid to take charges? Break for the Skippers. They could tie it here with a 3. Deering skips it over to Steele. Deering has it again. Goes up. Swish. Coaches will tell you it's the least efficient shot, but for Deering it goes in, and that's what counts. And the Skippers, who had struggled early, getting some production out of their starters now, Steele and Deering.
Way to get your hand in there. Oh,
Deering could not stay in bounds, and I saw it right there.
Yeah.
Official was right on top of it. He straddled the baseline. I guess it's a sideline, but you know what I mean.
yeah. And I'm watching Darren from Minnetonka. And when he's getting picked, he does a great job of rolling off of those picks. So he's been trained well here.
Kelly out to Stewart. Can't hit the 3 from the corner.
Good box out by Minnetonka there.
Holmeister with the board. Skippers could take their first lead. Cross court skip. Deering has it. Goes up. Off the heel. Stewart collects the board. Vascellaro. Look at him go.
Right.
Whoa. I tell you, I continue to be impressed by Vascellaro. Even though the Cadets didn't score there, he just looks so natural out there.
He does. And he makes you work. I mean, if you lose sight of him, he's going to score.
Well, John Martins is making Minnetonka work on the offensive side. He gives the Skippers their first lead with 3:53 left in the first half. I'm impressed by Minnetonka and their resilience so far. They went down early, and they're the lone unranked team in the Lake Conference, but they're giving STA a good fight so far.
And I think that mental card their coach pulled at the beginning of subbing the entire starting 5 out might have woke them up a little bit.
There are coaches who may be reluctant to do so. Others aren't afraid to pull the plug on their starters to get them out of a funk. And Martins has scored that last bucket, averaging 10.2. Deering and Steele are the two big guys for Minnetonka, but this is a team that's looking for that big win. Their biggest win so far this season was Champlain Park. Vascellaro had the board, but left the bounce pass soft. Skippers with the steal. Martins through traffic, and he'll shoot 2.
It's 2 fouls on George. We have 3 minutes left to play.
And the officials having a war with Ryan Freeberg. What is going on?
Well, after your first technical foul, you're seated. You have to stay seated. My.
You don't see this too often. On the floor, Martin splits. Vascellaro with the board, but it's the Skippers who have the momentum. On a 10-0 run unofficially. Vascellaro lost it, picks it back up, fires it to Thompson. Now he lines up for the corner three. Short. Rebound Stafford. Skippers looking to extend this run. Martins goes up and will do just that off the glass. A 12-0 run for Minnetonka.
I think Cadets just need to settle down and run their offense. And they're going to open it up for him, truly open it up for him, for Vascellaro.
Vascellaro got this team on a hot start, but he hasn't found much help.
Minnetonka's rebounding well right now. Their help side defense looks a lot better than it did in the first part of the game.
Deering goes inside to steal. He posts up and scores.
Nice to have a big man who knows how to slip on the inside there for Deering.
The Cadets had won 5 in a row until last night's loss to North St. Paul. And you wonder if fatigue is a factor on back-to-back nights.
Oh, but we got another tech.
Oh, my.
We got another tech.
Dennis Kelly
He threw the ball.
hit with a foul and then teed up. As you know, technicals count as personals at high school and college. They'll have a word with Jason Burr. And
boy, they're giving out technicals like Tic Tacs today.
I don't want any.
I don't think we can have any. But the officials are not taking any flack today. So Minnetonka has a chance to extend the run. Ben Holmeister to the line. He'll shoot the 2 technicals, and it will be Minnetonka ball. I haven't seen a game. Last time I saw a game get this emotional was a couple of years ago. Not Holy Angels, De La Salle Como Park. You were a part of that game. 4 technicals in the first half.
But I did not receive a technical.
No, you didn't, but
Okay.
it seemed like everyone else did. I'm just saying you were a part of it.
Yes, I was. I am the one who's trying to sit everybody down. No, don't say that. No, she was just kidding.
And St. Thomas Academy in the penalty, so Steele making 2 of 3.
But at this point in the game, you get a feel for the refs of how they're calling the game and the level of respect that they want from the players and the coaches. So now you know. Adjust accordingly.
Let's hope so. Nice bounce pass. Cameron Steele.
And he's showing up in a big way right now, too.
Steele is tough as iron. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to get one in there because only because of the way he's playing.
I thought maybe a Superman reference would be Steele.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Well, tough as iron, tough as nails. Noah Chamberlain breaks what was an 18-0 run unofficially for the Skippers. But it's Minnetonka with a 29-21 lead. Skippers surveying Stafford. Well, Skippers once again showing a lot of patience. Steele sees an opening In and out.
He's feeling it, though. He's feeling it.
Vascellaro. Vascellaro was fouled, but before the shot. 40.8 on the clock. Side out for the Cadets. Chamberlain picks it up in the backcourt. As you know, you can do that. Vascellaro got bumped.
No need for a foul this late. 30 seconds left. Just tighten up on your defense. Talk on defense. Move your feet.
Skippers do have a foul to give if they need it.
You definitely don't want to foul on a drive.
Vascellaro through the hole, but left it soft. Skippers with time. 8 seconds. Deering not going to wait. And he almost put it in. And the Skippers, nobody was down low. Good if it goes. Yes! Ben Homeister takes advantage. We saw this a couple times in our earlier game today. The Cadets boxed out their assignment so well, they left the lane open, and Minnetonka swooped in, got the O board, and picked up a second chance triple. They have a 32-21 lead on a 21-2 run to end the first half. What a rally by the Skippers.
Yes, wow.
LaToya had a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen.
I wasn't expecting that, but they turned it up. I think pulling them out that first couple of minutes sent a message to them, and knowing that they have the second stream that's there to come in and take care of business if they need to. And the second stream came in and did a great job for the 5 or 6 minutes that they were in.
Right, 10 bench points. Nobody has scored more than 3 among the bench players, but you look at the 32-21 margin, 10 bench points can be a big help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they kept their cool. We saw a little unraveling from their bench and the technical foul that the Cadets received. But for the most part, the Skippers kept their cool and played their game, got their inside buckets.
We'll come back for the second half in a moment. You're watching high school boys basketball. Mike Peden and LaToya Turk back with you. Just 2 more home games for the Cadets. Next Friday, they will host Tartan. They eked out a 2-point win on the road. That should be a fun one. We saw Tartan earlier this year, and Antoine Kimmins, that guy can score.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he can. Great athleticism from him.
Minnetonka leads 32-21, a 21-2 run to end the first half, and a couple of fact checks for you. Sam Vascellaro did play football. He was wide receiver.
We can tell by the way he cuffs the ball when he drives into that lane, drops that shoulder.
And from a reliable source, he is 9 away from 1,000 points.
Great job.
So we will be keeping an eye on that. Vascellaro has 10 to lead the Cadets. For the Skippers, Cameron Steele has 13.
Great combination.
But the difference is, I'd say the bench had a lot to do with getting Minnetonka out of their early run. It was the Cadets who went on the big run to start. They were up 19-11. And Vascellaro with the steal. Spin move. Oh, nice behind the back.
Nice dish.
Have I told you how much I love the back door?
Only 17,345 times.
And that was a great move by Vascellaro because he was double teamed, and like I said, that guy just looks really comfortable out there.
Yes, and was able to find his teammate in all that traffic.
Skippers going high-low, and a foul is called. That's on George Stewart. Ryan Freeberg hit with a technical foul in the first half. The head coach of the Skippers, and Dennis Kelly was slapped with a tee on the Cadet side. Peter Haas shooting 2. Haas on the board.
Still having conversation with that Minnetonka coach's bench.
Haas averaging 4.5, and It could just be standard chitter chatter, but when you pick up a tech as early as Freeburg did, every conversation.
It's a little tenser.
You're right. Every conversation is monitored. You wonder what's going on. George Stewart, baseline pass, out to Kelly. O'Malley has it. Stewart tries the spin move, can't bank it.
That was a nice spin move by Stewart, though.
Stafford with the board. Jump ball, and John Martins getting a little chippy there. I think the official is telling him to watch it or be careful there.
For both. They're just tugging a little bit at each other down there. They're just telling them to clean it up. They're still jaw jabbing, though. Two hands on the dribbler. Does that mean they were hugging?
I've never heard that. Two hands on the dribble.
That means you were completely out of defensive position. It wasn't one hand, it was two hands.
Andy Stafford hit with his second personal. O'Malley. Over to Stewart. I was speaking with Sam's father at halftime, and he noted as Stewart goes up, no good, is fouled. Vascellaro having a tougher time since Martins went on him in coverage, but 15:57, still a long way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a little bigger defender, a little stronger defender, so I can see where that can be tougher to get your shot off.
George Stewart missing the front end.
George Stewart does a great job of keeping the ball up when he gets the rebound and going right back up. It's a great asset for a post player. A lot of times you see players that want to go right to the dribble.
Stewart splits. He's an 81% free throw shooter. Deering. Charge.
Darren's shown us that he has a jump shot, so you don't have to go all the way in the lane. And him being as small as he is, I'd like to see him use a little more jump shot at that position where he took that charge. That's a backboard shot. It's a bank it in.
O'Malley, short on the three. Martins with the rebound. Kicks out to Stafford. Martins, dribble drive, leaves it short. Gets his own miss. Vascellaro all alone. Almost dunked it, but it goes in. And that still counts as 2 points.
It does. Whether it's a dunk or a layup or a finger roll.
I think if he picked it up a foot earlier, he would have been able to slam it in. I think he needed a little more space for his windup.
I can tell you how to clean up your up and under, your free throws, but how to dunk, I have not a clue. Jump high.
There's an art to it. People, they think it looks easy, and you've got the slam dunk contest in the NBA and some high school games, but it takes skill to develop it.
Yeah, I've watched Coach Crystal Flint's chronicles of her son Trey and his progression with dunking. So.
Well, you got to have the vertical, but an old friend of mine told me having the vertical, but you also need the proper angle. We talk about that all the time. Because if you mess it up, you could bang up your wrist.
Yeah, hurt yourself.
There is an art to dunking. Thompson, 3 ball, that missed everything. Skippers looking to go out on the run. 3 in transition, Severson couldn't put it down.
You know,
Dead ball
believe it or
rebound to the
not,
Cadets.
In my day, we were The young ladies were just happy with being able to hit the backboard, smack the backboard, and I mean like the blue part of it. So believe it or not, ladies who I've coached, there was a point in time when I could touch the backboard.
And then what happened?
Age, gravity.
Severson, fake the drive. Deering, 15. Well, it wouldn't have mattered if it went in. A foul was called on Stafford. That is his third. And he's going to have to sit for a while. Ben Holmeister coming in.
And that'll take away some of that inside presence. And a bigger body, middle. Maybe open up some space for Vascellaro to.
Or Graham O'Malley. And I see his family here. Frankie, who has stepped up. I found out Destiny Oberg could be out for the state tournament with her ankle injury. So Frankie is going to be picking up the slack. And Sam's parents are here. We'll see if he gets to 1,000. If he doesn't get it tonight, he'll more than likely get it on Tuesday when the cadets go to Simley.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing when your post player can step outside the lane.
We talk about this in women's basketball. You're seeing it more in the men's game too. Positionless or stretch fours.
Yes.
Cameron Steele showcasing just that by getting the three-pointer. And the Skippers hanging on to their advantage. Vascellaro, nice defense. He got Jalen Deering out of step. Deering wanted a foul. I didn't see it.
I'm not on the floor.
We're just going to sip our tea. No,
Yep.
But no,
Sip.
no, Vascellaro stayed straight up. I didn't see him reach in or lean into him at all, so
Yeah.
I don't think Deering had much of a case there. But when you're out on the floor, you think every call
Yes.
should go your way. It's just part of the game. High-low to Vascellaro. Vascellaro up to 14. 5 away from 1,000. 3, top of the key. In and out. Cadets looking to go in transition. O'Malley.
And they've been successful with their transition play.
And a bailout foul on the Skippers. Stewart was underneath. Cameron Steele made contact. So Stewart, he was trapped down low, out of position. Steele grabs him by the arm, and Cadets get another crack at this. Vascellaro.
Knowing he has 3 fouls. Great
Nice
decision
move to the rim.
Yes. Now I can say he looks like a natural out there.
He does. I think he gets it from his sister. Actually, I think I could only imagine what the back air competitions were like.
Yes.
Through the hole and in. AJ Tolliver. Skippers call a timeout. But you get the sense that STA isn't finished yet. You know, they're down by 7, and at least they've been able to find a way to get Vascellaro involved again. The challenge for the Cadets is going to be who's going to help him out. Vascellaro, he's got 16 of St. Thomas Academy's 32 points.
You go with what's working, and that's what's working for them right now.
I just like your philosophy of going with what's working.
Hey,
I'm always
that's what's
thinking
working.
about, well, what happens if you don't get help, you know?
It's
who's going to help him?
Hey, he doesn't look tired. Look, he's the first one out on the floor. He's ready.
And for Minnetonka, Cameron Steele has 16 to lead the Skippers. Nobody else has more than 5. But again, I go back to the bench production. 12 points for the Skippers bench. The Cadets have 7.
Yeah, I think if there's anyone who's going to help Vascellaro, it's going to be O'Malley here with the ball.
And don't count out George Stewart. Vascellaro fouled. That is the last to give for the Skippers. The Cadets will be at the line after this for the remainder of this game. And 12:01 is a lot of time. We saw how that helped Minnetonka today.
Right.
Vascellaro, Thompson. The skip to O'Malley. Back out. Chamberlain for three. Pure! Cadets trail by 11 at the half. It's a 4-point game now. And remember, this is a team experienced with adversity.
Right.
They have the annual series with Cretin-Durham Hall. They played Hopkins, Apple Valley. Wyzetta. Osseo, a top 10 team in 4A, one of the perennials. That's where Sam had his big 31-point game at the breakdown. Skipper showing patience.
Oh, a better pass would have secured a shot there.
Instead, Steele tried the reverse.
And
Cadets
now
with
we're
the
going
block.
to reward you.
Johnson couldn't get in position for the layup. 3 ball. Missed it. Vascellaro with the board. The kick out. O'Malley for 3. Yes!
I feel a timeout coming.
There is a timeout coming.
Yeah.
39-38, a 1-point game. If you're St. Thomas Academy, I don't want to say you expected to come back, but when you trail by 11 at the half, other teams might flinch. St. Thomas Academy, not so much. You know, we mentioned the non-conference teams they played this year. And don't forget, they're in the Metro East. Matamidi, they were expected to rebuild. They're having a strong year. North St. Paul and Tartan, 2 of the perennials. North St. Paul off to one of their best starts in years.
I think it comes along with the players that you have on your team. This St. Thomas Academy team, they're very disciplined, and they're not showing a lot of emotion on the floor. They're just playing their game. This is a military school, so they're trained to be disciplined.
They're trained to be stoic, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that too.
Stoic, disciplined,
Yep.
unflinching, unwavering. But that is a good point to bring up. They go down by 11, and if you go down by 11 at the half, I mean, you hate to be trailing by double digits, but you know you've got a lot of time to make it back up.
Yeah.
As long as you don't lose your focus. And I have not seen St. Thomas Academy lose their focus here.
Right. And their young men look like they are physically fit as well.
Well, there's a few multi-sport athletes over here. So the Vascellaro clan and a few of their friends, I presume, are all waiting to see him get 4 digits next to his name. But more importantly, they'd like to see a win. A big difference, though. Vascellaro had just 4 points last night in the loss to North St. Paul, 16 tonight. Skippers go high-low, and patience pays off. Gavin Patton puts it down. Now, Skippers, again, have to be careful. They are out of fouls to give.
Right.
Vascellaro, spin move, floats it in. The next point he scores will put him over 1,000.
He is like money out there. It is good.
Like I said, I think he gets it from his sister. Minnetonka, another high-low play.
Boy, is she gonna rub that into his face. He gets it from his sister.
I tease, of course. I say that because I've seen Frankie Vascellaro play. And
Yes.
I don't think you can make any arguments about the accolades, the acumen of those two.
Absolutely.
They both are great basketball players.
But I would definitely have that on repeat if I were her.
Next time, if Sam gives Frankie a hard time, she'll probably save a clip of this tape.
Yes.
In the meantime, we've got a foul on Severson, and with the Cadets in the bonus, that means free throws. Tony Wright, who has not scored, and now he does.
At the next game, she'll have a sign that says he gets it from his sister.
If they get to state, I could see that. Because remember, the boys' state tournament is a week after the girls.
Yes.
So, hopefully Frankie will have a chance to win one, and then a week later she can support his brother. And yes, she's going to have a big sign that says. I can only imagine what the conversation will be like at the Vascellaro household the next time they all get together.
Yes.
That's going to be a foul. Noah Chamberlain, free throws coming for John Martins. He has 5 points. But if you're the Cadets, I don't want to say you like where you're at. You're still trailing, but you're within a possession here. You don't need to try to get it all back at once.
And there's still good time left on the clock, too.
And if the Skippers miss at the line, you never know. I know we're going to talk about free throws
forever. It seems like.
Next year. That should be part of your sponsorship pitch.
Yes.
When you reach out at the offseason. Martin splits. And that makes it a 2-point game. Jack Thompson looking for help. Finds Tony Wright. You know they're going to want to get a touch for Vascellaro, and a blocking foul is called on Deering. That will be his third, and more free throws coming. This time it's Jack Thompson, who's a 72% free throw shooter, averaging 12.4 a game. And he's another guy who can handle the ball quite efficiently, 4.5 assists.
Gets the job done. I think from a coaching standpoint, there's so many things that we have to teach now on the floor, that some of the basic skill sets, especially at the high school level, we don't have an opportunity to teach. And one that we're missing and we're seeing a lot of is free throw shooting. Time management of your gym time and your gym space. You don't have a lot of time in the gym.
Deering on the drive, comes up empty. Cadets pulled from behind. And John Martins might end up on the not top 10. That's going to leave a mark. That's not a sequence you want to have happen. Chamberlain missing the baseline J. Martins gets back up. Stafford. Skippers have yet to trail in the second half, although the Cadets have threatened.
Martin's having a little trouble out there staying up on his feet. Is he limping a little?
Yeah, it looks like, well, maybe. I'm sure he'll be feeling sore after losing his footing on what could have been a breakaway bucket. And that's going to be a foul before the shot on Tony Wright. Cadets had several to give.
Number 2, Tony Wright. His first, team's third. Back into the game for Cadets. Back into the game.
Not the game you were expecting based on offensive production. The Cadets averaging 74.6, Minnetonka 67.5. I don't know if the team's intentionally designed to slow the pace down, but with basketball, you never know. With no shot clock, you're free to experiment, if you will.
It looks like both of these teams will get the ball out in transition offense, and playing two teams that play like that, you know how to slow the ball down. And so I'm sure that was a scouting tactic.
And that's a sign of discipline. O'Malley can't tie it up. You take a look. If you don't like what you see, back off and run a set play. You get some teams that'll barrel their way in, and they're gung-ho committed. Three ball. That would have been big for the the Skippers.
Get out of there.
Stewart with the rebound. There's Vascellaro. He's been the guy who's makes things happen. Stewart rejected on that play. Martins on the other end, floats it in. Timeout Minnetonka. They have 2 remaining, but it's the Skippers getting a couple of big plays going their way. They lead by 5. Lake Conference has not treated St. Thomas Academy well. This is their 3rd Lake Conference team this year. They played Hopkins and Wayzata on back-to-back days at the St. Thomas tournament. And Minnetonka, the lowest ranked of those teams, giving the Cadets a fight. But as you know, rankings are one thing.
I think the
games are another.
The Skippers have a few more offensive options than the Cadets do.
And we mentioned Eden Prairie, Edina. They were the #1 team for a little while. Those 2 schools have a great chance of getting out of the section bracket into state. EP would love to get into state after Chaska upset them 1 year ago. And for St. Thomas Academy, they'll be the favorite in 3-3A, but well, St. Croix Lutheran could put up a fight. You never know.
Nice.
Dennis Kelly with the drive. That's his first bucket.
Mr. Kelly, the first time the ball came to him, he looked a little confused, like, what's going on? And so I could hear the coach say, put up the shot.
And that's what he did. Graham O'Malley goes in the passing lane for the steal. And no basket, but Tony Wright will shoot free throws. And we still have a lot of time left, but gives you a chance to catch your breath for a little bit.
Right. And defensively, I don't think a foul was necessary, even though it was a 4-on-1 situation there. He had a bad angle. So he just went straight up, and there's a great probability that he would have still missed that shot.
Tony Wright splits, and picking up his 4th foul is Andy Stafford. So it's a 2-point game again, but once more, the Cadets have not been able to retake the lead in this half. They've got some time to do it.
Oh, so a travel there.
Patton fakes the 3. As we've seen, Minnetonka will exhibit a high degree of patience on their sets. They're going to wait for STA to make a move. Or they'll get the steal and the score, as Jalen Deering just did. Fouled from behind is Tony Wright. That will go against Severson. And double bonus now for the Cadets, so 2 free throws the rest of the way. And speaking of the Cadets, we noted this beforehand. Percy Wade, a part of the coaching staff now. It seems like he's been everywhere.
I say we should give him an award for being on the most teams.
He was a head coach at Kennedy for many years. The girls' team won a state championship in 2005. And if Abe were here, he would tell you all about it. Tony Wright makes both free throws. Spent some time on the Washburn staff when Tyler Coley was there, when Chase was having herself a career with the Millers. It seems like if there's a court, he'll find a way to get in it.
Yes. He was one of my first summer workout coaches in between 8th and 9th grade school year when I was going to Washburn. Oh, actually, no, it had to be 10th to 11th grade because I didn't go to Washburn until 11th grade. When I played with the likes of Tasha Cunningham, Negeisha Jackson, who's now the assistant over at North High School with the North Polars boys team.
Big three-pointer for the Skippers. Ben Homeister, who hit one to end the first half.
And they needed that.
Vascellaro blocked, recovers, goes up. There's 1,000.
Oh.
So Sam gets 1,000, but Minnetonka's still up. John Martin scores. The Cadets have been trading baskets with the Skippers, and they're running out of time. There's still plenty of it, but they can't keep trading buckets. That's a jump ball. Minnetonka with the arrow.
That's a risky reach-in, too, with 4 fouls.
And Jason Burr will call a timeout. St. Thomas Academy trailing by 5, 3:34 left. So Sam Vascellaro gets 1,000 points, but Minnetonka has been holding their own here in the second.
And all it takes is to win by 1, so they're up by 5 right now.
Well, and as you noted, Minnetonka getting a little more balance. If you're the Cadets, what do you do to come back here?
You got to play solid defense. You can't keep trading baskets with them. And it looks like they have just a couple of players who are putting up numbers right now for the Skippers. So you just got to buckle down on that. Know where your player is. They're waiting a little late to pick up their defensive assignments. It's go time.
Vascellaro, 20 points, leading all players. Cameron Steele, they've got him at 15. I have him unofficially at 16. But Vascellaro stepping up nicely after yesterday's 4-point showing against North St. Paul. But he's the only double-digit scorer for the Cadets. Not getting a ton of help offensively. And Minnetonka up by 5. The Cadets, another problem if they have to start playing foul and chase. They still have 3 to give. Cadets going full court now. Minnetonka gets it across. Deering is fouled. Jalen Deering was 7, his first trip to the line.
Is Michael coming back to our house?
Jalen Deering on the line for the Skippers.
And he missed the first one.
And at this point, you need all of those free throws. Give yourself a little cushion.
Well, Minnetonka, they've used the 3 ball to help, but you don't want to split. And we haven't seen STA go outside that often.
Well, they can't get lax with that mock press they just did for Minnetonka.
3 minutes to go. Vascellaro could not break through. Kelly used up the dribble, feeds it to Thompson. And he draws the foul. And if you're STA, you're okay with that because that stops the clock.
And it puts you at the free throw line. Automatic 2 shots.
Thompson split his first time up. And Thompson, as we noted, 72% based on the data we had. Pretty accurate field goal shooter as well, 46.7, and he blanks. And we got a foul on George Stewart. So the Cadets in a perilous scenario. That's the 4th on Stewart. Cadets with 1 to give still. Cadets bring the pressure. Minnetonka breaks it again. And this will help them eat up more time. Deering. The skip. And the floater for Cameron Steele. So they officially put him up to 17 with that. 58-50.
I think the Minnetonka coach is calling timeouts just so he can stand up now.
That very well could be, but this would be a big win for the Skippers against a top 10 team if they can hang on. And we noted the Skippers, with a dearth of those, they struggled against EP. They will have a rematch next Friday at EP. I can only imagine Minnetonka will be ready for them that time. They don't want another 26-point drubbing.
No one wants that.
And they played it close with Wayzata. They had a chance with Hopkins. They will host Maranatha of all teams on Tuesday, the boys team. But this is a team, they're going to be an underdog for sure in 2-4A. But win over St. Thomas Academy could help them out.
Yeah.
And with STA, like we said, they scheduled tough. And with the Lake Conference, even the team in last place is no slouch. We're seeing that out of Minnetonka. Thompson. Out to Stewart. Do you feed Vascellaro in this situation?
I would.
He'll go for it, but a defender in his face, and that's going to be an over-the-back foul on George Stewart.
Is that his fifth?
That will be his fifth.
Oh.
So George Stewart out of the game. Cadets out of fouls to give, and time is running out. I wasn't sure what to expect with this one, but going in, you think maybe the Cadets are the favored team, and the Skippers go on that big run to end the second half, and it's looking more likely that it will be enough to propel them to victory and get them back over the 500 mark. But Vascellaro and Chamberlain aren't ready to concede just yet. O'Malley fakes the three. Got to play smart, but then the Cadets throw it away, and then a foul on Thompson.
I don't think conceding is in Vascellaro's DNA.
No, but you got to play smart, and an unforced error, not what you're looking for. So Aaron Severson, who has not scored, has a chance to perhaps ice it.
This is the funniest thing, this coach and this ref.
Well, when you picked up a team, like you said, you have to hang on to your seat, so to speak.
Yeah.
Severson makes both. That might be enough. O'Malley, that was a tough one. High Karam will go to Dennis Kelly, but minute and a half left, and a foul on Martins. That will be his third. So Kelly can get some points on the board with the clock stopped.
Dennis Kelly on the line for the Cadets for two.
I'm always concerned at the level of play that a lot of the kids play at, with the high energy and the stops and pivots, and they all are wearing low bottoms, no ankle support. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are now. When you talk about Destiny Oberg suffering an ankle injury, I know I've watched her play a few times, and she has the low bottoms on.
Big loss, though, for the Stars, not having Oberg down low. The walking double-double. Stewart missed, or Thompson missed, Kelly missed both free throws. I was going to get the name right eventually. And Minnetonka can just run out the clock, although they throw it away. Cadets still need something. Vascellaro, the skip. Cadets trying to swing it around, and drawing the foul is Thompson.
If you could knock some of those down, get to the line, hit your foul shot, you could knock that 10 points, chip away at it.
They've had their chances. And
you need every one of those right now.
Yeah, they've left a lot of points at the line.
Yeah, get some and ones, and
Thompson getting the back end, but I don't know if the Cadets have enough time here. 112, they are going to need to get some more turnovers, and something they haven't had in some time, a field goal. Cadets on the full court press again. Minnetonka just unfazed by it. So now you're going to have to play foul and chase. Jalen Deering will go to the line. Well, this Minnetonka team, they hang on. How much of a statement this is, hard to say. STA at 318, but they're a top 10 one. You've got some great athletes like Vascellaro, so a win here, who knows what that could do as the season moves forward. Well, that might give them
The edge.
that might, well, give them a little bit of confidence, because after Maranatha, they'll get into the second rotation of Lake Conference opponents, although Deering splits again, but you'll take that at this point. Keeps the margin intact. And that's really what afflicted St. Thomas Academy in the closing minutes. They had a couple chances in transition and turn it over right away. So Martins will have a chance to pad his numbers. We may not have known a lot about this Minnetonka team before tonight. We may know a little bit about them afterward.
Right.
Cameron Steele stepped up big, but you, I think, hit it on the head. Early in the first half, Ryan Freeberg goes to his bench. They step up, and that set the tone for the Skippers for the rest of the game. The bench steps up. They scored 10 in the first half. Their starters caught up to them. And here they are. They're going to pick up their first win in a while.
Well, that was a nice move.
Well, that puts a couple of points in Chamberlain's pocket, but there's just not enough time here. 27.2. So for Minnetonka, the quest will be getting a win against the teams ahead of them in the Lake Conference. You know, they are in the last slot. They have yet to beat any of their Lake Conference opponents. So we'll have to see if they can sustain this in that second rotation. Because as you know, that first meeting can produce some excitement. The second meeting is just as dramatic because you had teams had a chance to see each other. Deering missed both free throws, but that may be inconsequential here. And another miss down low for the Cadets. So Sam Vascellaro crosses 1,000 points. So congratulations to him on that achievement, but it's the Minnetonka Skippers who pick up the win. A big run to end this first half, 21-2. Their lead was trimmed to 1 on a couple of occasions, but they did not break. 63-53 the final. Well played effort by the Skippers.
Absolutely. Everyone did a good job. The Cadets didn't give up. They kept fighting. They just fell short tonight.
They did. Cadets fought, but Minnetonka fought a little bit harder. And the bench production was critical.
Yeah,
25 points. 25 points off the bench for the Cadets. 25 points for the Skippers, 17 for the Cadets, and that made the difference in this one.
Yep.
So any final thoughts here, LaToya?
Great game, guys.
Great game. Well, great game if you're the Skippers, and next time I'll get Skippers and Cadets aligned with the correct teams. But Minnetonka goes to 10-9. St. Thomas Academy falls to 12-9. Well played effort by the Skippers. This is high school boys basketball.
Mike Peden with LaToya Turk.
Yes.